Alright, welcome back. We're going to finish this setup, and I'm going to go through adding the services to the Windows server. I've already renamed it to Win Server, and I need to add this as a domain controller. So I'm going to add that feature, and then I'm going to also add this as Active Directory. I'm going to add that feature, and then I'm going to go ahead and just add a DHCP server for now, just because we will mess with some VLANs later. And of course DNS, we'll need that guy. And now we're going to hit next. Next again, next, 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 and install. One thing I didn't tell you about while this is installing was I went ahead and set a static IP address in the 192.168.1.21, and eventually pfSense will be our firewall, and is already set to its default as 192.168.1.1, so these settings will make more sense. So I'm going to go and just check real quick and just show you. Alright, so there it is, properties, 1.1, and then I'm going to make this the DNS itself, because it's going to forward it back out to pfSense, and pfSense will forward to 8.8.8. But right now it needs to be itself, just so we can connect another PC to the network and get on the join it to the domain. So while that's going, let's go ahead and see what's happening here. The process, so we'll wait till they get done and then we'll come back. And while we're waiting, we'll go ahead and make another node PC for Windows 10. Windows. Well, I guess we'll do Linux. Alright, sounds good. We'll make this, set this to the right NICs so they can communicate, and then save. And then we hit start. And if it says there's no boot device, more than likely we'll need to go and rename this to CD-ROM. So we'll rename that guy, hit that, close this, stop that, start it again. And there we go. Now it's booting off that CD-ROM. Start Linux Mint, and we'll go ahead and get it installed. And in the future, we do need Windows 10 on here, so I'm going to make a new directory and just call it Win 10. And then I'm going to put that ISO in there, and then that way I can have a Windows machine that I can add to the domain. Alright, so I'm going to just paste the Windows 10 ISO in there for future. And while that's going, we're going to go ahead and install Linux Mint on this machine. And we hit continue. And continue again. And just continue. And erase, and continue. And for us, we're going to be in Chicago. Chicago time. And continue again. And we're just going to be user 1. Password 1. Capital P. Alright, so I'm going to be installing. Alright, let's check on our surfaces while we're doing this. Okay, we're almost done. Alright, cool. So we're going to hit close there. We're going to click on this guy. And we're going to need to promote this guy to a domain controller. So we're going to follow those steps. We're going to be doing all this at one time. We're going to need to set this as our evlabs.local. So we're going to make a new forest. evlabs.local. Next. We're doing several things here at once here, but so it's going kind of slow. We're installing Linux. We are uploading the ISO to create the Windows 10, and we are installing, or we're setting up our domain controller, and then we'll configure some Active Directory, and we'll create a new account, and then we're going to install Windows 10 and then join it to our domain. So that's the steps of the plan. So we're just going to try to follow that and go with it. And then if you can do this lab, then you can do anything. Alright, so we're going to set up our password here. I just do password 1 for our restore. Alright, we're going to hit next. Next. And next. Alright, defaults there for our AD database. And next. Alright, so now it's going to do its prerequisite check. And we have a static IP. That's another, it'll fail if it doesn't have that. So we'll just, it's going to be fine. So we're just going to let it run. Alright, so everything's good. We're going to hit install. And we'll give it a few minutes to let it do its thing. And once it gets promoted, it'll prompt us to reboot. We'll reboot, and there we go. There's our domain. So we'll let that do its thing, and then we'll check back here in a second. All right, well, that's finishing up. Let's go ahead and open up PuTTY. And we're going to connect to our EvenG installation, which will be 192.168.1.241. And we're going to hit open and then accept, and we're going to log in as root and Eve, and then we're going to put the commands in to create that hard disk for our Windows 10 machine. So we're going to need to get to that directory, the Windows 10. Alright, and then we're there. Now we're going to create a hard drive. And there we go. So ls, now we need to change this name to CD-ROM. So we can just come over here, do a right click on this and say rename and change it to CD-ROM. And then we should be good. I think we got to do like a fix permissions here. And then we should be rocking and rolling. Alright, for good measures, we'll do this. Boom, fix permissions, just to make sure there's no errors, anything's wrong. Give it a minute. And we missed it. We got signed out and restarted from the Windows server once everything was installed correctly. And now we're going to be logging in to the domain controller. So we'll get to see that too. And we're waiting for the login. Let's check this guy, so see where we are. So it looks like it's processing. That's fine. Let's let it go. And we're good here. We went back to that to the command prompt there, or to the line. I don't know. Minimize that. All right. Okay, that's good. That's good. We'll minimize this, and gonna be kicking off here just in a second. So, okay, well, while that's loading, we'll have to get all these connected so we can get communication going. So I am going to be connecting my EM1 from the pfSense to the Aruba, and I'm going to choose the port 118, but I'm going to make it a trunk port, and it's just going to carry all the VLANs, because eventually in the future I want to add some more different VLANs and just get us all a VLAN 1, but just for now we will go ahead and do that, and then set the interface for 1.1 to VLAN access 1, and then I guess we'll do 1.1.2 and set that to the Linux machines. Same thing, we'll keep it on VLAN 1. I don't want to overload the system, but I guess we can try to make a new node. Let's make that Windows node. Same thing, change this. That's fine. That'll be fine. Alright, let's give this a shot, get it started up. This is going to really bog down the system. It's going to go really slow here, probably. Probably wouldn't recommend doing all these like this, but it's a lab, and we'll be patient and get through it. Okay, I'll take that back. We'll go ahead and shut this Windows one down and let the server finish. So when this does load, it will prompt us to log in as evelabs/administrator, and then we'll put in our administrator password, which we've already set. It's the password 1, and we should be good to go from there. Just give it another minute here. All right, come on, don't crash on me now. Well, okay. Well, so let's do something here. Let's go ahead and set our interfaces addresses here. So we're going to do number 2, and I see that the EM is not getting DHCP actually. Well, you know what? I don't even have a cloud there, so that's why. So we need to add a cloud here. So I have to go to a network, and then I'm going to change this guy to the management cloud and say yes. Then when we shut this down, we'll connect it to that, and then we'll get DHCP from the net or the cloud there, and that'll be like our ISP essentially to connect to our pfSense. Okay, so we'll do that here in a minute once we get things up and going. So almost there, yay! Now we can log in. So Control-Alt-Delete little button there. All right, cool. So look, we're on Eve Labs, and we can log in with the same password, password 1. And I'll go ahead and shut the firewall down, so we can stop there, and then we'll connect it to the net. Now we're going to be choosing the 0 because the interface 0 is what we want it to be to get DHCP from the net, or from the internet or ISP. And then we'll connect this guy to port 8, which will be our trunk. and then we'll get things going here just in a second. So let's go ahead and start this guy, and we'll look at our server manager. Once this switch gets brought up, and we get this brought back up, the firewall, and then we'll get the switch. We'll need to look at these, make sure everything's set correctly. We'll have to, hopefully we should be able to, once we get the switch, I think I went ahead and configured it for the most part. For the interfaces, we'll need to connect from the server to the firewall and get it from the GUI and configure it. So we'll just give it a second for everything to get connected. Alright, so while that's waiting, oh, it wants to restart. Okay, let's restart then. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. It takes a good minute for everything to get going. Alright, so while we wait, let's just go ahead and look at our DNS. I'm going to go to DNS Manager. And go here. Drop the arrow down, do a reverse lookup. I'm going to add a new zone. Primary, all, IPv4, and then 192.168.1. So 192.168.1. That network, reverse lookup. Finish. Alright, forwarding lookup, Evelabs local. Okay, 21. Okay, cool. Win server. That's good. Now let's also check our forwarder here. So we're going to go to properties on the Win server, and then we're going to look at the forwarders, and we're say, oh, okay, we need to add one here. So we don't know. We're going to forward it to 8.8.8. And then say okay, and well, I can't resolve it right now, but that's okay. We'll just hit okay. So alright, so we set our forwarder. If it can't resolve it, go to 8.8.8 for DNS. So that's good to go. And we'll see what else we got. Now, yes, we will configure this later, the DHCP on this side, but everything else is good. Let's see our switch. Come on, switch, where you at? You're not switching today. Alright, cool, so we're getting address there. Now, there we go, switch, there we go. Let's log in, admin, and no password. And then we'll do a show run, just kind of see what we're working with. Alright, so show run. Alright, so yes, we have interface 1 on VLAN access 1. We do not have 8 enabled, so we're going to have to go to that interface. We're going to go interface 1/1/8. We're going to say config T first, then go interface int tab 1/1/8. Then we're going to say no shut, no route, VLAN trunk allowed all. Write me and done. So alright, cool. So let's do an exit and then ping 192.168.1.1. Can we ping it? No, we cannot. All right, so that's all right. Let's get to, can this guy ping the switch? So we use PowerShell. So this is where the troubleshooting aspect comes into play, trying to get things talking to each other. All right, can we even ping the switch? And then from there, can we ping the firewall? So we'll know here just momentarily. And I'll tell you what, while we're waiting, what we can do, just real quick, temporarily, just so we can reach it, we'll go ahead here and change this to a DHCP, and hopefully we can get something from the firewalls, DHCP on that, and then that way things are talking for a second. So let's see what's it going to do. Okay, it got there. Okay, cool. So now we can actually reach it. Alright, so then can you ping, who am I, what am I, what's my address, status, 100, can I ping 100? Can I ping 192.168.1.100? No, it cannot. So, oh, we can. Oh, right on. Sorry. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So let's try that again. Can we ping 1? I can. All right, fantastic. So things are working on the switch thus far. Fantastic. So now what we'll do is go open up Internet Explorer, and then we're going to get into the firewall to configure it, and then come back, set the statics on this, and then go from there. So going to get in here, got to go to my 192.168.1.1. Come on. No, we don't want to do that. Alright, here we go. 192.168.1.1. Alright, let's go to pfSense firewall. Okay, we're going to hit continue. I'm going to hit continue. Okay, perfect. Just for curiosity, can we ping old Google? That network's unreachable. That's because we got to configure the firewall. The firewall's not configured. It doesn't know where to go. So we're going to say lowercase pfSense, and then no, we do not, because we're going to prompt it to change it in a minute. Welcome. Fantastic. We're making progress now. We're going to configure the firewall and get connected to the interwebs. Next. Connect next. Which is quite speedy. Hit next again. Alright, so we're going to keep it at that. We're going to keep it on the domain. Is going to be our evlabs.local. That's not where I wanted to type it. evlabs.local, and primary DNS for us is going to be .8, and then we're going to say uncheck that. Oh, well, hey, no wonder. Uncheck that. Next. I'm going to change this to Chicago, America, Chicago. And next. And then that looks fine. We keep that DHCP. Uncheck these because we're internal. And then next. From our WAN side. Okay, so that's fine. You know want to change that to something else. But right now it's fine for that. We're going to change this to PF capital SENSE. PF pf lowercase capital SENSE. Alright, cool. So we'll hit reload. Alright, now normally when we check route dates, we're not going to do that. I'm just going to hit finish. We're going to load the main page, navigate around through there, look at some DHCP settings, look at a DNS forwarder, and that's all we really need to do on the pfSense right now. So we can close that out, don't care about that. Except the whole, yep, we're good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's fantastic, close that. And alright, cool. So we're there. Now we need to go to our services. We're going to go to our, first of all, let's look at our DNS server. So we got our, I don't think we got our LAN, so that's fine. So we got 10 through that. So I like to change this to, let's go, 11 to 111. 111. Alright, that's now I know that I'm on VLAN 1. And so for this, we're going to say it's going to be our 192.168.1.21, which is going to be our Windows server. That's the DHCP we want to hand out. And then our gateway is going to be the 192.168.1.1. Alrighty, and then that's good. And we hit save. Okay, cool. Alright, now we need to go to our DNS forwarder. So basically, you're saying I'm going to enable that forwarder, and then I'm going to say, hey, if I don't know, it's going to go back to my general DNS resolver is enabled. Okay, so we need to go to the services, go to DNS resolver, and uncheck that guy. I need resolvers in there, so we'll do that right there. And then we're going to say save, so take off the resolver. Then we're going to do a DNS forwarder. Oops, I'm going to go back, apply changes. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Okay, cool. So then we go here, and then we go here to forwarder, DNS forwarder, and we're going to enable it. And yeah, that's it there. And then we need to go to our DHCP server. Did it save it? Let's go back. I don't think it saved it. No, it didn't. Okay, cool. So we need to hit that and then come down here and hit save. Then we hit apply changes. Alright, looks good. So resolver set, interfaces, LAN. Alright, everything's good. So, alright, cool. So let's just double check that again and make sure it did save. Alright, cool. It is saved. Fantastic. Alrighty, so then, alright, cool. So let's do a bounce this guy. Let's set him to 192.168.1.21. Going to go to 192.168.1.1, and the DNS is going to be itself 192.168.1.21. Say OK, and then OK. Please get internets. There we go. All right, now we got internet. Yay, we're good again. Yay, we got interwebs. Okay, cool. So now let's just check on this guy. So can this guy ping 8.8.8.8? It cannot for routing for some reason, but it can ping the firewall. Ping 192.168.1.1. Okay, so we're good. And then we can ping 21. It's because it doesn't have any like IP route going on for layer 3 stuff, which is fine. Okay, cool. So that's good. Server's good. All right, cool. So let's make an Active Directory. Close this guy, and let's make an Active Directory account. So we're going to go to Tools, go to Users and Computers. We're going to make Linus Torvald account. We're going to go here. We're going to go to Users. We're going to say New User. Right click, New, say User. Then we say Linus. His middle name is Benedict, so we'll say B. And Torvald. Valds. So L Torvalds. L Torvalds. Next, and password is going to be password 123. Password 123 tab. Password 123. All right, so you can change it if first login. We're going to say never expires. Cannot change, and then hit next. All right, cool. So that account has been created. So now, once we get on this PC on the domain, then we can log in with that account. So that means that we need to next set up that new Windows machine. So let's work on that. So let me move this out of the way here, and let's get on to this one. So this guy, we'll just go ahead and stop him because we're not going to be using it right now. I wanted to set it up to where we could add this, but the firewall at school is blocking us from downloading some things that we need to get to put that on the domain. So we're going to start this guy and get him set up, and then we'll get this machine put onto the domain, and then we're going to call it a day. Right there. All right, so here we go. It's going really slow getting started up here. We'll give it a minute. Alright, so let's do this then. Let's go to IP route 0.0.0/02.192.168.1.1, and then we'll say write me, and then we'll say ping 8.8.8.8. Yeah, there we go. Local server, I'm just checking some things while this installer gets going. Oh, there it is. Okay, oh, it's being designed by DHCP. We gotta statically set that here in just a second. I thought we just did. Oh, there we did. Okay, cool. Has to refresh. Sometimes you can click the refresh button too to see these things refresh as well. Alright, so here we go. Get started here. We're gonna do next. And we're just gonna do super light. Just compact. That'll be fine. Plus that, and that's fine. Whatever. We'll just do compact. Okay, so we have to do the load driver thing, and then we have to select browse. Then we're gonna have to select the B drive. Then we go to storage. Then we click on this, and then we click on the AMD64. Next. Alright, then it shows up, and we click next. Alrighty, so we're going to install now. Yay!